So we begin today the journey of St. Paul's letter to the Romans, which we'll be following in the first reading for, I think, the next 4 weeks or so. And it's beautiful because this letter was written actually only a few years before the great fire of the Roman Empire that became the incentive for the Roman emperor to persecute the Christians. So before the church in Rome was going to begin their great trial of persecution and dying for the faith, here's St. Paul writing to them, and he begins to remind them why it is that we are Christians and who we are and what we are called to. Called to be an apostle and set apart for the gospel. It is because of this gospel that we have the grace of apostleship, followers of Jesus Christ. We are given power to be witnesses and martyrs for the sake of the faith, and to bring about an obedience of faith. An obedience of faith. That faith is not just belief. Faith is not just belief in certain statements, but faith is a decision that we make to follow Jesus Christ. I really appreciate yesterday's homily by Bishop Barron on the gospel, on this, I think it was the second reading actually. What is the gospel? That the gospel is not just ethical statements. Be kind to everyone. Be nice to everyone. Treat others how you want to be treated. Those are a result of the gospel. The gospel is a person, and his name is Jesus Christ. The gospel is God made man, who revealed the heart of God to humanity, who suffered and died for us, and brought us the hope of salvation, and called us to follow him. And that is hard because it requires a decision on our part. And St. Paul begins to speak into that in his letter to the Romans, the obedience of faith. That our gospel, Jesus Christ, the good news of salvation, Jesus Christ himself, has spoken. He is the sign. Whenever he speaks, Jesus speaks in the gospel today about the sign. Who is the sign? He is the sign right before them, and they are not noticing. They are not seeing. They are not wanting to follow. That's why they are a corrupt generation. You are asking for signs, but you have him right in front of you and you can't see him. You're asking for flashing signs, but the sign himself is right before you and you can't see him, and you're not willing to follow him. Our gospel, our good news, what makes us sing to the Lord, what gives us joy, that great gigantic secret of the Christian, joy, hope, is him, the God who has chosen us, whom we belong to, that we belong to someone, that we are wanted by someone. And that moves us. The person of the gospel, the person of Jesus Christ, moves us to an obedience of faith, to let this good news change our lives, change our hearts, and be willing to follow him.